Hi everyone, just before we begin the reading, I just want to do a shout out to my sister, Tracy. She does Reiki with a twist. I'm going to link below her YouTube page if you want to give her a shout out or just check out some of her work. And if you like her content, maybe consider giving her a subscription. That'd be great. She talks a lot about Reiki, crystals, energy. She does distance Reiki, just anything like that if you guys want to see if that's something you connect with. All right, and then we'll get into the video. Hi everyone, my name is Kelliena. I'm from Halifax, Nova Scotia, Canada. Today's video is about what the Guardians are saying about our power. One of the more important powers that I think you are mostly aware of, but I think the importance of it may not be known, is the power of daydreams. It's the power of knowing what daydreams really are. So how daydreams were explained to me from the Guardians was as follows. It's a space, it's a sacred space where the Guardians can communicate to us. It's a place where it's safe, and it's a way that we can allow our energy, they always call it flow. So what I want to focus on today is hopefully give you some guidance on how to develop your daydreams as a psychic tool, as an intuitive tool to speak to either your guardians, your soulmate, whoever you want to, or loved one in spirit, like how to connect with them. So what I want to start with is, I'm going to give you an example how it worked for me, and then I'm going to give you the techniques that I did. So what happened for me was when I was single, when I was looking for my partner, I would always daydream about, the perfect man for me. What would that look like? And as I daydream, I've always been attracted to men who have glasses and beards. Like I've always had that thing. And so I would daydream about that. And sure enough, my Ken has glasses and a beard. The other part too, as I would daydream, I would get these random thoughts about friends that all of a sudden I felt, sorry, DJ's playing again, these thoughts about friends that I haven't spoken to in years. And I was like, oh, I need to call them. I need to speak to them. But what I didn't know at that time, this was probably about a year or two before Ken and I met, was the friends that I was thinking about when I was daydreaming, when I was just kind of thinking about like my perfect man, it turned out that they were mutual friends between us. And actually, when Ken and I, we met first at a party, and then we met again 2 years after on POF. And at the party were the two friends that I kept thinking about. I kept thinking, oh, I need to call them. I need to reach out to them. But that was the Guardian saying that, no, your man is through them. So I hope that makes sense. But one of the power dreams is that, or daydreams, is that it's very random. It doesn't make any sense in the moment, but it will make sense later. So to help you, if you're connecting with your soulmate, a loved one in spirit, or even just like on your, like what your path is, like what do I want to focus on, my career or what have you. These are the techniques that I use to help find my power, my path. So one thing I do is I focus on, like I daydream, like sky's the limit. Like you kind of think like, okay, if I had the perfect career, what would that look like? Or if I had the perfect, like trip, what would that look like? Whatever I want to manifest, that's where I start with. I'm like, what's the best that I can think of? And the one thing that's really important is don't underestimate yourself in your daydreams. Like if you catch yourself that you're thinking about like, if it's your dream or a daydream about career and you're like, oh, I can't do that. I can't do, why am I thinking I can, do this job? We want to kind of deprogram ourselves where it's like, no, I can do this. And like when I say sky's the limit, if you're like, oh, I want to be an astronaut or I want to be a detective or whatever, allow your mind to go into that. See what you're picking up. I'll give you an example of me. One was, this is a random story, but like I actually I took a detective course way back in the day. And at the time, I think I was like 22, 23. And I was like, no, I want to be a detective. I want to really get into it. So I took the course. I passed it, and I guess I had my detective certificate or whatever it was. And then I was done. I was like, okay, yeah, that was like a hardcore like vision of mine for when I was really younger. I wanted to be a detective, solve mysteries and things like that. And as soon as I got the course, I was like, okay, I'm done. Like it was just done. Like the energy was just, I had no interest in it. And what happened was I then became more of a paranormal investigator. I do that on the side. And it made sense why, like, cause that course became very important to me because it helps you kind of filter, like you could, not only read the energy, but you could also read the body language. You could kind of assess the scene, like, okay, is this logical? Is this paranormal? Like, it helps me translate it a bit better. So the reason why I bring that up is that when you daydream, some of it's going to be very random. Some of it's going to be like, okay, why am I thinking to be an astronaut or that? But there's something you're picking up. And that's sort of, my intention with this topic is, don't underestimate your power. Even if it's something completely random, something that, okay, I want to work on flowers, or I want to make, a new game, whatever that is, you want to honor it. There's something you're picking up in that moment that it is going to make sense later. It just might not make sense right now, and that's totally fine. But there's something in your power that you're calling in. So that's the first thing I just want to kind of say. So just daydream, see what you're picking up, make little notes. Sometimes it takes months or even years before it's like, oh, that's why I was thinking that. That's one thing I just want to kind of focus on. The other part too, the guardians were focusing on is female power. I'm not saying this, when I'm saying this, they're not presenting it in a way like women against men. That's not what I mean. I'm talking more about the female divine, because every one of us, male or female, we have, female energy, we have male energy. It's all combined. It's all about connecting with ourselves. So one thing that the guardians were focusing on, and they're just I mentioned this before in other classes, is to kind of be aware of how the female energy is either suppressed or very limited. Like if like female beauty, you have to be a certain size, or you have to be, a certain way. Like it's not, in my opinion, it's not fair to a lot of women. And I'll just give you a couple examples. Like I was born in the 70s, so I grew up in the 80s. And when we grew up, like our children's shows were like She-Ra. We had Xena in the 90s. We had Buffy. Music, we had TLC with Salt and Pepper. Like we had all these, powerful women as role models like that were just strong and just very powerful and beautiful. And then in the 2000s, it kind of shifted where women had to be like really skinny, like women were not, in my opinion, like it was not celebrated. And off the top of my head, I really can't think of any strong women that stood out in the 2000s, which I'm sure there are, but I think that my point with this is that I think they were suppressed. I think that they weren't celebrated as much as they were back in the 80s and 90s. And what's exciting now is that because we have YouTube and we have the internet now, is that women are getting out there. Women are being more celebrated than before in the early 2000s. So that's just something just let me know what you think. I could be out to lunch on that one, but that's just something that I observe, and that's sort of what the guardians have presented before. I think that we're in the shift of energy where women can be celebrated. The women energies can be celebrated much more. Something I know it's kind of random, but that's just something just to see. What do you guys think about that? Like, do you see women's energies being more celebrated? Do you see it more suppressed? Like, just kind of like, I'd be curious about your 2 cents on that. Okay, so today's reading, we're going to do the daily one for each zodiac sign. So I have my tarot, so I'm just going to focus on the energy and see what they say. So for Aries, so Aries is the sun. So today's energy is very much about joy, laughter, have fun, connecting with family. They're focusing on more time in the kitchen, more time just connecting with that. There's something in that can help you shine. That's what they're presenting, but family connection, which is nice. Taurus, 8 of Wands. So Taurus, this is a time of communication. This is a time to really speak from your heart, to really, and also to look at your feelings, to, if you are in an energy that you want to show your love, or because Taurus, earth signs in general, sometimes what happens is the emotion part, sometimes it's hard to express that because the emotion's more water energy, and then the earth energy is the opposite of water. So earth signs, what they do is they need to, not all, but some need just extra time to kind of process that energy before they're ready to speak. So today's energy with Taurus, it feels like there's going to be a breakthrough regarding communication of feelings and of love. And then for Gemini. So Gemini is 4 Pentacles. So today, Gemini, it's about focusing on budget. It's focusing on, because there's something here, Gemini, so you might feel like, okay, I need more time to myself. I need to kind of protect myself. I need to seclude myself. There is something that the Gemini, they're asking to focus on budget, savings. What are your financial goals? And to focus on resting is a big one. And just to reconnect with earth, meditation, anything like that, I think would be really good. Yoga would be fantastic. Cancer is 10 of Swords. So Cancer, this energy here, it's an aura where it's about, like, the energy might be a little bit loud for you, meaning that you might find the energy feels a little bit more heavier. So today's energy, I would actually really recommend for you, if you're at home, if you need to rest more, if you need to take a nap more, anything like that, I think would be really good. It's just sort of like a day just to decompress, just rest, let energy settle, go from there. Because 10 of Swords, I always call it the snow globe card, because it's an energy where it feels like everything's up in the air, where it's like, okay, I can't quite see where I'm going, but it's from an energy, it's like just let things settle and then go from there. Leo. So Wheel of Fortune. So Leo, this is an energy about positive changes. This is about a redirection into a much positive vibration. Leos, you're going to find the energy is more lighter than it's been in the last few months. There's a lot of creative energy around here, writing, art, anything like that, working on the home is going to be very powerful. It's just an energy where it's like, okay, let's redirect the energy to help the next chapter. Virgo, 4 of Cups. Virgo, this is a time to reflect, step back. It's a kind of like a thinking day. This is a day to kind of rest, recharge. April is going to be a very powerful month for Virgos. They're saying that for Virgos in April, this is going to be a month of reflection and to make decisions later on. That's what she's saying. She's saying that April is going to be a month to gather information to make decisions later on. So it's going to be very creative. Libra, 5 of Pentacles. This is an energy, today's energy is about resting, recharging, honoring your body. It's a time to drink more water, maybe do a detox, just something to honor where you are. You might need a little bit more sleep too, just heads up on that. Scorpio, 2 of Pentacles. Scorpios, they're focusing on 2 of Pentacles. One of the ways that I learned it was that's the healing card. So for Scorpios, there's something here where the guardians are presenting soul healing. There's something that you're going to go through a release. It's an energy breakthrough about a situation, a relationship in the past that you see in a completely different light, where you're like, I understand that lesson. I understand that in a where it wasn't before. Maybe it stressed you out thinking about that person or that situation. The 2 of Pentacles here, there's a breakthrough for you where you're like, I know why that happened. And it changes the energy completely where it's not stressful anymore. So that's actually really beautiful. Sagittarius, the World. Sagittarius, this is going to be a day of almost like a hermit energy. This is going to be a day of gathering knowledge, higher learning, research, reading. They just show you curl up reading. Today, I would just say, like, get a good cup of tea, good cup of coffee, curl up and read whatever you're drawn to, because there's something here about expanding knowledge. That's sort of the energy for Sagittarius. Capricorn, the Magician. So Capricorn, today's energy is about seeing what's available to you now. This is an energy, the guardians are saying that you are in an energy where there's more opportunities being given to you, and it's about seeing what's there. And they're saying to focus on what is here, not what's not. So what they're showing here is if you feel a little bit overwhelmed or frustrated, they're saying work on what you have for now. That's what she said on that. And then Aquarius, Ace of Wands. So Ace of Wands is seed of fire. So Aquarius, this is going to be a day where you're going to be very motivated. You're going to be very inspired, very creative. A lot of business energy around here. You may have a business idea, a writing idea. There's something where it's about, like, you're really going to feel like, okay, I want to take action. I want to get things done. That's going to be really strong today. So Aquarius, this is a real go get 'em kind of day. And then Pisces, 6 of Cups. So Pisces, they're showing an energy here where someone from the past may come back in. They're showing that a friendship or relationship of the past, they may contact you. They may see how you're doing. there's an energy where, or even for you, you may feel like, oh, I need to reach out to someone I haven't spoken to in a couple of years. This is all about reconnection, and it's all about understanding the past to get you into the, she says, understanding the past to get you into the future with it. But it's just a very joyful energy here for Pisces. All right, everyone, thank you for checking out the readings. I appreciate that. Please message below if there's anything that you want me to focus on or any requests. That would be great. All right, thank you for checking this out. Take care.